2, 3, 1.
Finally, seeping is the key word here.
Smart enough to figure it out. I just ask questions and talk shit. I'm not the
All
news.
I saw was a lake, mountains, and some trees. That's the running theme on this fucking podcast. Whoever deserves mocking, and that includes a host. Man, there is a record amount of meth in this place. Kinetic. Just sounds like stuttering Smitty.
Caul is 2022, y'all. Fuck milk crates, y'all.
Action! Get the fuck out of here. What the hell? Everything! Holy moly. Happy Monday, May 16th. A happy what the hell everything day. A day of... Finally, I get to do a fucking podcast. Man, I mean, I'm going to get into it, but it's just been a blur lately. In a good way. Like, I'm way more positive than I think a lot of people think I am right now, because there's, being essentially forced out of your home. Do we want to get deep real quick? No. We got to have some levity in this fucking situation. But being forced out of your home in a not ideal amount of time, adding a third, essentially, emergency job, trying to save up as much money as you can to find a fucking home that does not exist in this whole region. It's fucking chaotic, So all last week I didn't do any podcasts. So I'm really fucking stoked to just get back and do one. I was going to do a Sunday morning talk practice yesterday, but I can't remember what I ended up doing. I think it was fucking nothing. I worked last night, but yeah, it's just everything is. I was talking to a friend of mine. We're talking about when we're going to get together for a phone call, just to catch up and just shoot the shit. And it's like, you gotta fucking schedule. I do. I have to schedule like phone calls with people. Oh yeah, I can get you in here fucking for an hour on Tuesday, like 2 o'clock or something. You know what I mean? I think I got a little bit of time. It's all crazy, but again, I think I have a way more positive outlook on it than some people, because I just fucking feel like I can do anything. It's this weird new self-confidence that I have over the last year or two, specifically. Overall, the last like 5 or 6, I think. I'm always trying to like get better, so it's definitely a process. But the last couple years specifically, I've really just sort of realized what they fucking say is true. You can kind of manifest things. You can kind of you feel how you project, essentially. And I'm really learning, like, you can train your brain and train your body. And like, okay, well, I didn't do this before, so I'm going to do this now because it's essential. Meaning high-paced food service. I'm thinking of it specifically in my head. Hey, real quick, let's talk about my sponsor before we really get into the meat and potatoes. Oh, and just to say hello. Hi. But before we really get into the meat of things, let's talk about my awesome sponsors. And that is, of course, M22 in Sutton's Bay as we zoom in. Honestly, it couldn't have been a more great stay when I stayed there a few weeks ago now. As soon as I walked in the room, I just had one of those moments where I just kind of looked around and I'm like, okay, I can take a breather, and that's the ultimate sort of like sign for me that, okay, I feel comfortable in this place. Like, I would totally go there again and enjoy a stay, and I would recommend to anybody looking for a great, affordable place in this insanely expensive region of northern Michigan, which we're going to get into. This is a great option for travelers if you're looking for a place to stay in northern Michigan, just outside of Traverse City, just north of Traverse City. That gorgeous, historic M22 drive is something I recommend again and again and again, because, come on, look at that place. Oh, you can't see it anymore. Never mind. Anyway, shout out to Kevin and the folks at M22 in Sutton's Bay. Yeah, man, it has just been fucking chaos. Just trying to cram everything in. And I like being busy. Don't get me wrong. I had to start a third emergency gig, and I started that last week at Turtle Creek Casino. And I've mentioned, several times, I think on this podcast, that I worked there at that very casino 21 years ago. I do believe I got they call it Black Friday there still. The mass exodus, which is a hilarious story now, and one that I'm not going to get into. But 21 years later, I am back at Turtle Creek and bartending again, and I couldn't be more stoked because I know a lot of people at that place still. There's a lot of people there that I consider fucking family almost that are working there still. And already met a lot of cool people. There's something about the bar and restaurant industry that I love. I've 14-ish years I spent in radio, which I just left a year ago. And I couldn't be more happy to be at a fucking radio. And anybody that thinks that, and I know there has to be these people that are like, oh, Smitty, if you stayed in radio, maybe you wouldn't be having such financial difficulties. Clearly, you don't know what the fuck a radio salary is like. And living in this town specifically. So I would be pretty much in the exact same position I am now. But this emergency gig at Turtle Creek, learning high-paced food service and high quality, to say the least. Fine dining, to say the least. It's honestly, I'm wishing I could accurately describe. Maybe it's not that do I not know enough about restaurants? Way to ruin your cred, Smitty. But I worked at Mountain Jack Steakhouse 20 years ago after the mass exodus at Turtle Creek. And that first stint, because I did 2 stints at Mountain Jack's, bartending and serving the first time around, and I was fucking terrible at it. I had no idea how to do food service. And if you've never done food service before, if you bust your server's balls, man, what an evil person you are, because you literally have, especially a high-paced, high-quality, fine dining establishment, you have no idea, how fucking stressful and how hard people work in these places. It is crazy. And I watch the people that I'm working with right now, and I'm like, I don't know how you fucking do it. Because like I said, the first time around, I was a terrible server. This time around, the second time around at Mountain Jack's, which was a few years later, right as I was getting into radio, I was way better at the job because I was a little older. I was a little more learned. I kind of figured out a system for myself to do it, and I'm like, okay, which proves I'm teachable. So then a few other stints of I would serve tables at Ripe Brain on occasion, but mostly just bartending. I think I bartended at a bar downstate where I did a little bit of food service, just fried cooked burgers. I did actually short line cook while I was bartending at that gig. But fine dining, high paced fine dining is the thing to behold, to watch people fucking do it, because it is keeping your head on straight while you got a bunch of tables and you're running, and you got to remember when to put in people's courses and all of these details with fine dining. I'm talking about the Wagyu beef. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars bottles of wine. I'm talking about escargot and everything you can imagine in a fine dining establishment. They're doing it, and doing it at a high level at Turtle Creek. Bourbon 72 Steakhouse specifically. And I'm dipping my toes back in there. Now, I'm not typically one to remembering things is not something I'm very good at. Usually. So I see all these people, the people that I'm training with, and they do all these things, remembering to do this at this table and this at this table and this at this table. And I'm like, you don't even write anything down. How do you even function at a regular, like, and the way you could do math in your head? I was, my one trainer was trying to, she's like, don't you know how to work out like 20%? I'm like, yeah, but not like in my head. I got to use a fucking calculator. And she's like, oh, just do this. And here's 10%. And then you just double it. And I'm like, yeah, you told me like 3 times, but like, I just don't fucking get it. Like, what was it? I can't math is something I'm pretty famous for saying. My friend Teresa, who's my coworker at Fresh Coast Beer Works, where I'm still there Monday night tonight and Tuesday nights for trivia. But Teresa was trying to, you know, how people count back change. When here's whatever the fuck noises I was making, just then I apologize. But trying to count back change, I could never figure it out. And she's like, it's so easy. Why don't you just do this? I'm like, well, apparently it's not easy. But I'm realizing that as I go through this training, I'm like, I got this, because I'm putting such focus into absolutely killing this job. This is where my mentality's changed. Before, I would have let things like this defeat me. I think I'm like, oh, it's just so hard. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do this job. I don't know if I can do this podcast. Now, being older, a little more wise, a little more weed. What's that wiser? What's that fucking saying? Older, wiser, whatever the fuck. A little more weed. Anyway, and I can just deal with things better now. You know, relax, think things through. What's, you know, realistic, what's not realistic, and pretty much everything is realistic. Man, I can kill this job. You know, it's 100%. You're 100% able to change the way you think about things, and to get better at things that you weren't very good at before. And I can't wait to kill this job in a good way. I've learned a lot in the last few days. I think that second night I was working there, I'm like, holy shit, I am walking, to say the least, running this whole night. I'm like, my ass is so chaffed, I'm going to get like ass cheek calluses. But I'm stoked for it. I'm really looking forward to just hammering this job all winter long and just being being a part of one of the best places in northern Michigan for fine dining. So yeah, I'm really stoked. Now, as far as the rest of the Dude, Where's My Lease with old Butch Codgers, nothing really. Nobody's gotten a hold of me specifically, other than to sign the lease. And I'm not signing the lease. I don't think I am. I think I'm going to get an attorney on. I have a couple attorneys I'm going to reach out to. People have recommended me a couple. And get at least hopefully 1 or 2 of them on the podcast to talk about like what my options are as far as sticking around. Not sticking around. That's not the best way I want to put it. Because when they first said, okay, the house is sold, you have 4 months to get out. This is the end of August. September 1st, they want to move in. Then they changed their mind after they said, oh, sorry, we didn't sign the lease. You now have less than 2 months. Okay, so at the end of June. I think because what I want to do is just be like, look, tough shit. I'm in here you're going to give me until the fucking end of August. And that's pretty much, the end of discussion. You're going to give me until the end of August to figure this shit out. Because I'm looking at getting out of Traverse City probably. Even if I can't afford, and I think, you know, because the casino pays you well, even for part-time bartenders. You know, that's why I'm working there. They treat their people so well. And, you know, I forgot what I was saying. Forgot what I was talking about. The point of the matter is that I'll be able to knock it out after, you know, if I can just hammer through the summer, I can relocate out of Traverse City, find a different, hopefully in 4 months, find some other place to set up shop, to set up wherever, to have a home for my studio, for this business that I've created. So I think I can do it. I think I can kill it, you know, and, but every day it's a grind, and honestly, when I say that looking for rentals in this environment, Northern Michigan specifically, right now is just good luck. You know, if I want to stay anywhere around here, I don't know how people are finding places to live right now. I have a few options. I have a few people reaching out right now, but when you if you go and search on like Zillow or any of these rent.coms or homes.coms, it's like there's nothing. There's like two or three places in Traverse. There's like one or two places in like Kalkaska or something, and nothing's in your price range. Nobody lets you have fucking cats. I posted something about on my personal Facebook page today about, I'm like, you know what? Trying to find rentals in this environment is fucking awful. It's a nightmare. And people say, apparently, fuck your pets too. And a dude that I know commented on it, and he's a fucking rental person, property manager person. He's like, I'll let dogs if I meet them, but no cats ever. Ugh. And I'm like, you fucking smarmy fuck. That's all I can do not to reach through the fucking computer, through Facebook, and choke your fucking life out of your body, you know? Because all I'm just like, fuck you and your smarmy no cat bias. You know? I get the whole fucking, you know, cats piss. Some do. Cat's claw. Some do. My cat claws, but he claws the fucking furniture that I have. He has scratching posts, and he doesn't claw walls, to the best of my knowledge. So I get that there's a point there, but I also get that, like, fuck you, man, and your smarmy. No wonder there's so many goddamn kitties at the Humane Society. So you got all these fucking things, and then, you know, try to add on fucking trying to find something that will work with, like, a business as far as, like, internet capabilities or something like that. And it's just like, motherfucker, man. I was telling somebody, having a little conversation on that personal Facebook post, and I'm just like, can't even remember the point I was going to make, if I'm being honest. The point of the fucking story was that this is just not a great fucking market. This person that I was talking to was a single mother, and she's like, yeah, I just had to do that shit myself, as far as, you know, trying to find a place as a single mother in Traverse City with 3 kids, and you know, with a $1,900 base rent. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to fucking move out of this town. You know, it's just like, I have people that I can move in with, all that stuff. I wish it wouldn't have to get to that point. I wish you could get a reasonable amount of planning time and, like, saving time, you know, because to say that this winter has been financially, like, I had a full-time job, you know, I worked 5 days a week, 6 sometimes. Not to mention money pulling in from the podcast, but that's, you know, it's a new podcast, and it's just starting out. So it's not, you know, making enough for me to quit my other jobs yet. You know what I mean? It's just like, but it wasn't busy all winter. So my bank account went. So now, again, hence emergency job 3. And I say job 3 because I absolutely consider this podcast a job. I have to put damn near 40 hours of work into it a week, if not more. But, man, yeah, I actually went and got an application for an apartment complex, and I just happened to be like, yeah, do you have any, is there like I was advised, I'm like, from a friend of mine who said, hey, go to this apartment complex. I might know the person there. You might be able to get on the emergency list if it put me down as a reference. And a lot of times people say that, and it's, you know, dropping names, and it's not necessarily one of those things where, you know, they think they have more influence than they do, maybe. I don't know if it was one of those things. I don't think so. They seem legit. But then I grabbed an application at this place, but I went in and asked, I'm like, yeah, I was hoping maybe you could get on some kind of emergency list because I have less than 2 months to get out of this fucking place. And the look on her face, like she wasn't a bitch at all, but the look on her face was like, sorry, good luck. And it shaped into genuine, like, genuine empathy when I told her, I'm like, yeah, this fucking old Butch decided to sell the place because it was too much to maintain, apparently. At least that's what I feel like. And decided to say, fuck you and your lease, you're out of here. So, but the look on her face changed drastically to one of empathy when she heard that story. But she wasn't mean by any stretch of the imagination. But just, she was like, there's nothing, dude. She's like, man, I have nothing till the end of the year. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, well, if you can put it in, you know. And I filled it out and handed it in. And I'm like, because if this person did say that, yeah, I do actually have an in and I could maybe get you in if there's an emergency, somebody dies or something, which I'm not wishing that on anybody. But if something opens up, something opens up. But then I'm feeling like an asshole, you know? Like I'm fucking taking somebody else's spot who could be in just as dire of a situation as me. I think even the first time, honestly, the first time I posted about the dude, where's my lease thing that I had fucking this much time to get out, somebody actually commented with, hey, I got to be out of my apartment soon. You want to take over this lease? And I happened to message and say, hey, I'm kind of in like the preliminary where I don't even know how much money I'm going to make yet. I still have to figure out what my income is going to be before I can really apply for anything. But I'm like, but hey, send me the stuff and I'm going to inquire and do the things. But I'm like, you know, I can't really be in until like the end of June probably. And she's like, oh, actually, after your post and my comments, somebody messaged me and already is going to take over the lease. That's how quick people are scooping up places. That's how much people are dying for somewhat affordable housing in this area. Where somebody saw it and boom, fucking message, hey, I'm looking for a place. But I wasn't pissed off. Like, I was honestly genuinely happy that A, somebody found a place, and then B, somebody found somebody to take their lease. So I was happy for both of those people. You know what I mean? So many people are just getting fucked over right now. And I was telling somebody else, this is why I'm going to be such a fucking asshole, you know, to old Butch Codgers. You know, is that I refuse to fucking accept when people just think they can fuck you over because they have more money than you, you know? Like, I really feel like that's a thing. People really, well, I fucking paid for it. Yeah, I know. But we signed a lease. Oh, well, it's not here anymore. Sorry. We paid for it. Well, I disagree. You want to move in? Well, I want to not fucking be railroaded out of this fucking place. You know, trying to carrying suitcases down the fucking road, fucking with a sign, will fucking suck dicks for a roof. That would take me, that would be rock bottom, pretty sure. Also, what the fuck was I? The baby formula shortage. Before we get into my interview with the Brothers Crunch, which was really fun, and you can actually catch that full interview on the YouTubes with Brothers Crunch, as well as my reaction to their demo, Space Jesus. But real quick, I just saw this story about the baby formula shortage, which is fucking crazy. I don't even want to look into reasons why all these shortages are happening, because it's just going to piss me off. A lot of times I like to remain willfully ignorant, but then I see things like selling breast milk. There's a woman selling 4,000 ounces of breast milk as baby formula shortage continues, and I'm just like, that's actually pretty innovative. What an entrepreneur that person is. But that's where we're at, you know? Honestly, I could just start selling. What could I start selling? No, I just covered that. That's rock bottom. Everything's fucking nuts, you guys. Let's talk to the Brothers Crunch.
Ooh,
Brothers Crunch, holy shit. Been a long time since I've seen you guys. How are you?
Yeah, really good.
Excellent.
Yeah, good to be here.
Excellent.
Welcome to the Smith Hole.
Yeah, it's
Smith Hole.
It has been a while, man. It's been a while since we sat down. It's been a while since we talked music with you guys. We, as in me and us. Last time, I think, was a corner bar. I think we did a corner bar in the studio. Played some live music. Yeah?
Yep.
In the radio station.
Best show on the radio, man.
Corner bar, that's right.
And now you have new music coming out, and I just listened to the song, and I think I said in that reaction that these guys don't give a fuck. Just in a good way. Just in a good way. It's everything you guys do is just centered around creativity and just like brain babies. What's gonna sound good in this fucking moment?
Yeah.
You know?
And, a lot of the new stuff that we're working on, and that was just a home demo. We're going to be re-recording most of that stuff with Dave Runyan once he gets his new digs all built and set up. You're saying he was going to join us here tonight.
Yeah, I got a hold of me. He's like, I got a tile.
He's laying tile. Hell
yeah.
No, he's getting it, man. That place is going to be amazing when it's done. But
and you introduced us to Runyan last time we did a production with you at that corner bar show. That was the first day I ever met Runyan. I think Caul as well.
He's got away with sound, you know.
Yeah,
And
then we've made an album with him since. We've done shows with him. He's flown over our festival and taken photos with his camera with one hand as he was flying a plane by himself.
And apparently that year on his way back to the airport, he actually started having engine trouble. Fucking almost crashed his plane.
I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about that.
Flyby. He made it home safe.
Oh man.
He probably doesn't want us talking about that.
Well, he sold the plane, and I don't think that's why. I don't think that's why. He was probably out searching for Sasquatch and just like, I could fucking detour to take a few photos of these guys.
But
it's on the way. It's on the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, these. So we're doing a handful of demos. Some of them are actually songs that we wrote with our childhood friends. Like, damn, when we were like 16.
And yeah,
under 20.
Stwin was 16, which would have made me like 13.
Yeah.
12 maybe.
But we're not gonna. Don't wanna. We're knocking on wood and don't wanna drop names just yet. But there is a fairly big name that we've been in contact with who might end up doing some of the mixing on this one.
Okay. Which
ties right in with like you were saying, like the no fucks given idea. With this kind of what we're going for, because we did our first EP with Andy Van Gilder, well, 7-song EP, and then did our big album with Runyan, and we kind of felt like we proved that we could put out a solid rock record and pretty straightforward rock record. And so yeah, for this one we're just kind of having fun, fucking around, doing what feels good, what's fun. Yeah.
It sounds like
naughty.
It really just sounds like
naughty.
You got an idea, throw this in, see what's obviously everybody's idea is not always going to be in the song, but that's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're just catching fucking vibes from everybody.
We got a bunch of friends contributing too. Eric Jakeway, Ashley Christopher,
Dale Owen. I haven't even showed Caul yet. Dale Owen just sent me. He put 12 guitar, mandolin, and grand piano on a track. Yeah. On this track, "Let Me Fall."
So we got a lot
but
of
Aaron sings
big names involved. Yeah.
"Let Me Fall" is Aaron and I. I had wrote some simple chords, and then Aaron rewrote the whole thing with really nice, and then sang it as well with Aaron's golden voice.
What's your experience with these guys, Aaron?
Well, we met on a cold winter's night.
I love it when stories start like that.
I saw Darin riding a horse.
That's
jumping.
Right.
Hair flowing in the wind.
I forgot about that horse. I found
Did he?
It wasn't even my horse.
Did he have his boomstick with him?
Oh, Caul was shortly behind.
On a mule.
So I was running behind on. Yeah.
He was riding
boomstick with my mule.
No,
So
but
you played with these guys before then?
yeah. I met them. It's been about
When you
three,
moved-
it's been
Aaron's
3 years.
Aaron's
now, right?
the sole guitarist of the band. Yeah. Yes.
Who's
Indeed.
playing?
Yeah.
Who's? I guess I don't remember who was before.
So
But I
early-
thought one of you guys. No, Caul does bass, obviously.
Yep. Early.
And you're drumming.
Early's taking a break
Okay.
right now.
The Squirrel Master.
Yeah, but Squirrel has also contributed to this upcoming album
Yeah,
already,
okay.
so that's which I'm so glad he did because Errol's the man.
But no, Aaron. It's been what, a couple of years now.
Yeah.
But Aaron was living in Traverse City for a while, and so we basically snagged him up before any other band could, because he's fucking awesome.
Thank
yeah.
you, sir. Thank you.
And since then he's moved back downstate, but still manages to make the trip, the long drive up here to rehearse with us and to record and all that good stuff.
And he has at least half a dozen projects, different solo duos.
One of which.
How many bands you playing in?
Right now just 2 bands, but then I have my solo gig, and then
Yeah.
I play some duos and.
With
It was funny.
Noel and
I was talking to somebody the other day. How many like interchangeable fucking Traverse City bands with just like interchangeable members? You know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
probably 30 bands, I would guess, with probably several members in each group, and they just kind of just like, oh, I'm gonna go over here and play with these guys. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool.
Yep.
It's really cool. Let's talk about some other stuff. First of all, where can people find your music before we move into because I want to talk about your basses.
everywhere.
Spotify, CD Baby,
All the shit.
YouTube.
All of them. Amazon.
Yep.
You know. Just Google the Brothers Crunch.
So you're looking at an EP and a full-length album currently.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's 7. The first one was 7 songs. We kind of call it an EEP. Wasn't quite a full album, but it's more than an EP. But
Yeah.
we were a brand new band. It's what we had at the time.
Because there's one more E in there.
That's right.
It's more
Extended.
than. It's more than an EP.
Extra extended play. That's right. It's an EP.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, and then
yep.
the new album, 12 songs. 12 songs.
Sure. Let's do 12.
with Dave
Oh,
Runyan.
the most
the
recent?
existing recent one.
But
Yes.
you can find them anywhere, Spotify,
Yeah,
all the shit.
yeah.
Okay. And then, I mean, because if somebody happens to be watching this before you guys play shows in the summer or something like that, how's your summer shaping up?
Oh.
Good. Yeah.
We,
one of us can pull up the schedule
yeah,
here in a
we,
second.
Sure.
Get the
And,
official schedule. We should prepare that.
Yeah, on Spotify.
It's edited.
Spotify, we have our bio and a lot of photos. That's an easy one. And then, of course, Facebook is a great way to stay really updated with us. And in the bio on Facebook also has all these links that'll show you all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And
so.
the cover photo on our Facebook will have this schedule that Caul will read to you right now.
Yeah. So. May 21st is the next. Next show is May 21st. That's the Pond Jam.
Oh man, that's
The
a fucking
kickoff.
rad. That's a
Yeah.
fun ass
Love the
time.
Pond
Pond
Jam.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't been there,
The
that's in
the
Rapid City.
kickoff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pond Jam kickoff.
Yeah.
May 21st, and then next one's in June, way up north, Friendship Farms. June 25th, Thirsty Fish in Traverse City. July 22nd, we're playing Encore 201. We're looking forward to that. We haven't played there yet. That's a new venue.
Oh no, I've heard good things about it.
Yeah. A lot of our friends have played there. It's basically, they got a bar, there's drinks and everything, but it's basically geared specifically toward live music. It's a concert venue with a bar.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
we're
yeah.
really looking forward to that one, June 22nd.
Caul, could you read those dates in a Sean Connery?
Yes, could you please?
I don't think I can. July 22nd.
Yes.
24th.
You can.
Doonesville Music Festival.
Ooh.
That's in
Doons-
Lake Ann. Lake Ann.
Doonesville, yes.
If we had Berta here, he could do that. But and then we get into July, August. You know, people are probably gonna forget about it by then. But we do have all the dates posted, like Darin said, on our Facebook page. We do constant updates. So
Yeah, we're doing Cow Pie Festival
yeah,
in
that's gonna be a fun one.
beginning of August, and we have tickets for sale for that friends and family discount tickets. So
Okay.
please message us and hit us up. Message us through Facebook, and we will mail cow pie tickets to yourself at a big discount.
Yeah.
And then don't forget our festival, Meadow Fest, August 26th, 27th. Aaron's
Meadowfest. Meadowfest. Where is that?
That's up in East Jordan.
Okay.
Outside of East Jordan.
Okay.
It's on our parents' 100 acres.
In the jungle.
It's way out in the woods. It's a half mile back in the woods, completely off the grid. So, you know, well, you can find that through our Facebook page. It's kind of a private event, but, you know, it's a non-exclusive private event. 21 and up, no kids.
No dogs.
No dogs, no kids. It's a big old grown-up party back in the woods. It's a good time.
Yep.
But we're going to have a bunch of great bands. Chirp.
Stormy Cromer.
Stormy Cromer, yeah.
Odd Shaped Puzzle.
Yeah.
Which with a bunch of Aaron wrote dozens of songs that they play.
And their music is also available on the same site, Spotify. Right?
Or go to their website.
We're not up on Spotify.
I was listening to you on your website at work today, actually.
Yeah.
What's the website?
Oddshapedpuzzle.com.
You got that domain name.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking cool thing, like, just like the music scene in Northern Michigan, just how wide it spreads, how many
man.
like little festivals there are for people that are maybe watching this from outside of the area. I pimp out this region pretty hard, you know, and it's just like if you come up here, look for a music festival, look for some fucking cool local festival, some cool local live music, and it pays off all the time. It's always fun.
Yep.
I mean, just mountains of bands.
Oh, there's some incredible talent in the music scene up here. Speaking of which, on the second album, the new album from Brothers Crunch, we have among others Katie Larson from the Accidentals.
Oh yeah,
and those guys are taking off hard. They're doing really, really well. Nice. Katie laid like 8 tracks of cello for us on one of my songs. Sounds amazing. Who else we got on that?
Joe Wilson from Steppin' In It and E Minor Trio, who was in Steppin' In It with Dominic and
who now plays bass for Jack White.
White, and then Josh, who almost won The Voice or American Idol or something.
Voice,
yeah. He's on there.
Well, those guys aren't on our record.
Right, from Steppin' In It. It's good old Steppin' In It. Throwback.
Speaking of cello, let's switch. I want to talk about your basses a little bit because we've talked about this a little bit before.
Yeah.
But I just think it's super cool what you do, and I think people need to see that shit because it's rad. I love bass probably more than any other instrument just because of the vibe.
You're a smart man.
I've never been accused of that before.
We have good taste in it.
So you can't see these pictures, but I'm going to pull them up here and just talk my way through them. All right, so Caul, what the fuck am I looking at?
Okay, so that golden monstrosity, that's a section of an oil drum, a 55-gallon oil drum. When I picked up, actually I picked that up right across the street from Andy Van Gilder's place at the BP outlet, where they bring the gas before it goes into the trucks to be distributed to the gas stations. And anyway, I cut the thing up. That was the second upright that I built out of an oil drum, and that was when I first started playing bass with Elizabeth Landry, formerly E Minor, and I basically needed something. I just basically couldn't afford a real upright because they're crazy expensive, and so the whole thing actually started when me and Darin and our 2 other brothers and my wife and our parents went to Ireland to our cousin Heather's wedding. And they're kind of business folks.
She married an Irishman.
Yes, and but we're sort of the artsy musical people, and they're kind of business minded sort of folks. And so they wanted us to play some music at the party the night before the wedding, and I didn't have a bass to play. These guys all had guitar, fiddle, mandolin, and I needed a bass, so I made a gut bass, like a hillbilly wash tub gut bass out of an oil drum I found laying in the ditch on the side of the road somewhere.
In Ireland.
Yeah.
That's
and
fantastic.
cut down I took my dad's Swiss Army knife with a saw, and I cut down a branch off a tree from outside the cottage we were staying in, and built myself a gut bass, and it sounded really good. So when I got back here to the States, I started going about building that thing. And yeah, and I still have it, still play on it every now and then. I've upgraded my build since
It's
then.
sitting out in the meadow.
What's
I
your
believe.
No, the old one is sitting out in the meadow.
What's your process for these things? What from brain baby to ready to go, ready to play?
Well,
How long does that take usually?
Well, when I first got started, of course, I had to look up the math. You know, how long does a fingerboard have to be? How long from nut to bridge? You know, where's the bow got to go? All that kind of stuff. But I just basically made it up as I went along, and made lots of mistakes along the way. Learned from my mistakes, and.
But how does it sound?
It's good. It's not nearly as loud as a real upright. And then that's one of my latest ones. That's probably.
I think that looks so fucking sleek and cool as fuck.
Really good.
That's a cello. It's an electric cello. I just sold that to a good friend of mine, Corrine. She's. Now I'm having a brain fart. I forget the name of her band. That sucks. It'll come back to me. But great cellist. She's. That is black walnut. That's actually from a tree in our parents' 100 acres. Me and Darin's folks, 100 acres up north. Where we
For
have
Meadowfest. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a branch that. It's wood from the property that we milled up at my dad's place. Yeah, but that cello is probably my masterwork. That's the best
really
thing I've
nice.
done.
It looks really
We
nice.
would climb that tree when we were kids.
Yeah. So that's my boomstick.
Yeah, I like this.
That's that right there is me in. I think that's in Dave Runyan's
It's right
studio.
brain. Is that right brain?
Oh, that's right brain. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's in the brewery.
Oh yeah.
I realized this. I remember the setup. Yeah.
Oh,
But
we were
that's-
in the back, the storage where they have all the kegs and
What
the.
What
the
show was
kegs
that?
as well.
I think I was at that show.
It was 20.
Brody, wasn't it?
First time we played with 22
Oh, I
to
was
9
fucking
and
at that
Crony.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, what's-
Yeah.
That was
Shout out
fun.
to Sled Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's just
But
it's fun.
the boomstick, it's made to look like a shotgun. It's a 2-inch outside diameter stainless steel pipe for the fingerboard, and that one's in Dave Runyan's studio, recording on the second album.
That last the photo in Right Brain, that's the night we met Sled Dog.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
is
right.
it?
Yep.
That's right.
One of my
this
favorite humans.
This looks like us at Pond Jam, actually, possibly.
That was the
that
most
Lakewood?
recent ResFest stage
Okay.
at the second location of ResFest in Mansalona.
That was
Okay.
That one's the third incarnation of my oil drum bass, the double gut, and that's actually 2 wash tubs like poor folk might wash their kids in, and it's the bigger a wash tub on the bottom, the smaller one on the top, and that's what you'd normally use for the old hillbilly gut bass.
Okay.
And I just kind of fused the 2 barrels together, or the 2 bins together, or whatever. And put actually from Darin's work, I picked up a sheet of what is that? It's a really nice. It's a solid ply. I
Probably
forget what-
Baltic Birch?
Yes,
or,
it is Baltic birch. See, knows his shit.
Mm.
Yeah, but and use that. For the
Musicians
face.
know their wood. You know.
Heyo. That's what you said. Wait. While this photo's up, shout out to the Res crew
Yeah.
and all our Mansalona and Pleasant Valley kids, and Andrea, who's the queen of Res. I have those tapestries at my house. They had to move the property, and we had to go in there and tear that stage down and save the wood, send it to Bama's. And I got those tapestries, so I still have them for you.
Oh,
Don't worry, I washed them.
But
That's-
good.
You were saying that poor folk would wash their kids in those, but that's how I take my baths, dude.
Uh-oh.
You're a po' boy.
I didn't. I'm just learning this. about
Hopefully we'll
myself.
make a lot of money at this show tonight, and you won't have
You can
to.
buy
I
a
thought
real
this was
bathtub.
how people took baths.
This is not the normal American way.
That's how we used to take baths. You just
Come
sat
to-
down and put your
this-
balls in the water.
Am I?
But if anyone out there is interested in seeing more of what I do have a YouTube channel. It's Cauldron Music.
Okay.
Same as my Facebook page, Cauldron Music. And most of my videos are the construction process of doing these things.
It's just cool to check out, man. For like people that are just enthusiasts, like for instruments or whatever, it's just cool to check out.
And I like to feature a lot of local music. Pretty much everything I play on the channel is local artists.
Very cool. Well, we'll put a link on the video for sure.
That one's louder than the other one, right? That one's that one's louder.
That's
than...
almost volume-wise about equal to a real upright.
Click that link, Cauldron Music, and Caul will take orders for custom-built basses.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were. I wasn't sure if you were selling them. I mean, I figured you were, but I didn't know if you were just making them for yourself or something.
That cello is sold.
You know? Okay.
Caul.
And I've sold an electric upright bass that's similar to that cello. I had 2 of them. I kept the one for myself because I liked it so much. I'll be playing on that. No, I played on that last weekend at Union Street. Yeah.
Speaking of other links to click when it comes to you guys, I wanted to have you guys on a year-ish or so ago to talk about FeltGood TV, which is fucking ridiculously awesome. I don't know why. I was just stumbling around on Facebook, and I think I saw a post, and I was like, these fucking Brothers Crunch guys do a puppet show.
Well, technically, I'm not involved in that. That's Darin's baby with a couple other friends.
I wasn't sure if you were. I wasn't sure who was exactly.
I'm a cheerleader.
And typically, we don't like to say by name who are the puppeteers. You know, no one really knows who's behind the curtain.
Good idea.
But our one of the puppets named Berta, and maybe the human's also named Berta. But anyway, he sometimes gets on stage and sings with us, actually.
How did you come up with the idea to do a puppet YouTube channel? And we're going to play a clip. You won't see the clip, but I'll play the clip. Which, by the way, what is a good clip? 30 seconds-ish, a minute or so to play from one of those? One that you would choose.
Gosh, I love the I learned it from watching you. Zombies on drugs. Commercial. Anyone our age or older will remember that commercial. I learned it from watching you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But there's actually there's no English words in it because they're zombies. So.
Where did it go?
Zombie parents who use drugs have zombie children who use drugs.
Do you write all those and produce all of them yourself?
FeltGood TV. We're a crew of 4. 2 that focus more on the puppeteering and 2 that focus more on the videography. But we all collaborate in writing and producing. And Alex G is the mastermind behind it all. He built all the puppets, and he's our fearless leader for sure. So yeah, FeltGood
It's fun,
TV.
Man.
Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's so much fun.
I wanted to give it a shout. I wanted to get FeltGood TV on the podcast about a year ago, and then I just kind of lost track.
Yeah, let's do it.
About it. Yeah,
they would
really
be down.
We should make that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's the weather's warming up. We'll start crawling out of hibernation.
Fucking
start doing
shorts and flip flops and t-shirts on today. I walked around outside like that for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You guys, I want to thank you for coming in. Again, Brothers Crunch, available on Spotify, all the things. Website?
Odd Shape. I was gonna say Odd Shape Puzzle too.
Yeah,
we don't have a .com website.
We were on
we
Spotify and Facebook.
for a while, but we never.
I've been doing the bio. I've been sending people to Spotify because our bio's on there. We have a bunch of photos on there, or Facebook.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. Everybody's on the shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I rarely go to. I hate to say it, but I rarely go to my friends' bands' websites because I just want to hear that music and watch a video and see what's
we
new.
Do have a YouTube channel as well. There's not a whole lot of content there yet. There's a great video that our buddy Davey Sifford did the video work and produced for us.
Yes.
For our song "Anatomy of a Groove."
Okay.
It's definitely worth checking
Fun
out.
song.
That's actually the video that got the attention of the unnamed famous person that hopefully we'll be working with on the third album.
An old late '80s punk rocker.
It's Beavis.
It's Beavis.
It makes the most sense.
He actually is involved with Beavis and Butthead Do America. That's a hint. That's the only hint you get.
Really?
Really?
Yes. Yeah. But Odd Shape Puzzle is going to be playing a lot of those dates that
What
Caul
if I
mentioned.
guessed right now? If I guessed who it was, it's not live. Never mind. I don't want to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Shut up, Smitty.
Yeah.
Important figure from the 90s.
Oh, Odd Shape Puzzle will be co-headlining our next show at the Pond Kickoff.
That's right.
So everyone's got to be there. And this podcast will probably come out right before it happens, so May 21st.
And so this podcast will be out in just a few days. So,
Genius. And who else is there? Mike Rostek, Slim Pickens, Jack Elliott, the Surferitos, and there's one or two more. Anyway. Yeah.
But
that's always a good time. The Pond Jam is amazing.
Fuck
if you haven't been there, you got to go.
It's an awesome venue. I love it. I think last year when I emceed a gig there last year, and I had not been there before. And I'm like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the Caul family, they set that up. They did a great job. Yeah.
Again, Brothers Crunch, new album coming out soon, directed by our great friend Dave Runyan.
Love you, Dave.
Click the links and like these guys and go give them a listen. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming to the
appreciate
shithole.
you, man.
All right.
Buffalo.
All right. Hey, again, thanks to those guys. It's always fun talking to them. And I said a while ago when I was doing this podcast, I'm like, do I really want to work with local bands? And these guys are just an example of the local bands that I love to work with because I know them. I know their music's good. They're awesome fucking dudes, and I love the idea of supporting my friends' bands and bands that I discover, which is one reason why I do the Rock Radar and all that shit. Speaking of that, the Rock Radar, Stoner Reactions. Because I'm so busy, I'm not putting out the content with the regularity that I would like to, just because things are taking way more time to produce because I have to spend way more time doing other things. But they're still coming, all right? They're still coming. I just dropped an full album reaction for Biffy Clyro's first album, 2002's Black and Sky. And I'm going to go down that whole rabbit hole, other band rabbit holes, not even necessarily full album reactions because I know that's not everybody's thing. But way more content. Whoa! I think my sneeze blew out the microphone. Where did that come from? Out of fucking nowhere. But I feel refreshed. Hey, anyway, yes, way more stuff coming. Please like the podcast. If you're listening on Spotify, remember patreon.com/we3smiths. That's where you're getting the video editions of these full podcasts, and it's only $3 a month. And more content is coming, including more Rock and Roll Roundtable album review podcasts. I swear those are coming. I haven't got with December and Michael in a minute because they know I'm busy. They're busy too, but they're coming back. So please, thank you. Please and thank you. This is the moral to this story. But yes, please like and subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. Become notified when new stuff drops. And remember, if you're into trivia, you're anywhere near Traverse City, I'm hosting trivia, DIY trivia at Fresh Coast Beer Works Tuesday nights. That's tomorrow night. And after Memorial Day, that's moving into the tent at Fresh Coast. We're going to have tent trivia, you guys. So that's all happening, and all sorts of stuff on the horizon. More Dude, Where's My Lease progress reports and upcoming episodes, and I can't thank you guys enough. Let's get the F out of here.
So long, sucker.
Good night, everybody.
I'm so sorry for everything that has happened.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, all right, I'll see you guys there. By the bar and get your face, huh? Get me paid, bitch.
Sit, boo-boo, sit. Good dog.
I love y'all very much. Peace out.
Good night, ladies.
What the hell? Everything!